and Rosen in the morning. WRJN.
All right, it's movie time. It's 7:38 at WRJN, and Bret Hoffmann is here. We're going to talk movies this morning, and we have two big movies opening up this weekend, and let's talk about those. First, we got a horror film and a racing film. What do you have for us, Bret?
That's right. The first one is a PG-13 horror. It is Megan 2.0. This is the sequel to 2022's Megan that caught the world by storm. On a small budget, this thing was released and earned over $150 million. And because of that, of course, we're getting the sequel. Well, if you like the first one, you'll probably like this one. 2 years after Megan's initial rampage, her creator, whose name is Gemma, has to resort to bringing back her infamous creation to take down a new threat, Amelia, which is a military-grade weapon that was built by a defense contractor and had stole Megan's underlying tech. Expect a lot of jokes and a lot of other bizarre things going on in this one. But again, Megan took the world by storm in 2022. If you liked it then, you'll like Megan 2.0.
Yeah, and I heard it was a $12 million budget for the film, and they made $150 million. That's a profit margin. Now, I've seen the picture, the poster for Megan. Is it a real person who plays Megan, or is it a figure? What is it?
Megan is a real so there is a real person that does play Megan.
Okay.
And then, of course, there are other special effects shots as well.
Yeah, okay. All right, next one's a big racing movie with Brad Pitt. Let's talk about it.
All right, F1. This one has been talked about for quite some time, especially globally. It's a PG-13 action movie, and this has got a great pedigree. It's directed by Joseph Kosinski. He was the guy who directed Top Gun Maverick, and among other films. It also stars Brad Pitt. And Brad Pitt, he stars as a Formula One driver who's come out of retirement to mentor and team up with a younger driver. I'll tell you, this movie was made for the big screen. The footage is absolutely amazing. It was filmed on real tracks in partnership with Formula One. And let me tell you, not only does the footage look spectacular, but Brad Pitt does too. It's hard to believe this guy is 61 years old, but much like Tom Cruise, it seems like both of those guys are ageless and both have popular movies coming out this summer. So F1, beautiful on the big screen. See it on the biggest screen possible. And it's also playing, if you want to head down to the Gurney Cinema in Gurney, Illinois, it's also playing on their 40X theater. So if you really want to feel the rumble of those cars and all the kinds of twists and turns and emotion see, you can go check that out at the Gurney Mill Cinema as well.
Do they pipe in exhaust? You know, like you can smell the car's exhaust. Do they have that smell going through the smoke and everything?
No exhaust, but what's really neat is not only do the seats move and kind of rumble, but you get wind machines and other types of effects.
Oh, really?
So you really feel like you're right in the cockpit with Brad Pitt as he's driving this thing.
All right, so they got a forecast on how these two movies will do this weekend. Who do you think's going to beat who?
Well, I can tell you. Here's the forecast. So F1 is forecasted, and this is from Box Office Pro. F1 is forecast to be the number one movie domestically with between $45 and $55 million. Megan 2.0 is going to make somewhere in the 20 to 25 million range. And then How to Train Your Dragon, which has been on the top of the box office, is supposed to come in at about $20 million as well. So F1 will do great domestically. Worldwide, of course, where there's more F1 fans all over the world, it's supposed to do spectacular worldwide as well. So this is a big release. But don't forget, actually, midweek, before we talk to everyone, next week, Jurassic World Rebirth will come out on Wednesday. So before we talk next, you'll also have Jurassic World in the mix. And that is a thriller that's also great. Scarlett Johansson stars in that one with Jonathan Bailey. This is 5 years after the last film, and it deals with a group of scientists that have to go to this isolated region, this isolated island, to extract DNA from some of the prehistoric creatures that were left behind. This past Monday, we ran a mystery movie. We do that quite often. We've spoken about it. Our mystery movies are only $6, and go figure, fans are treated to a spectacular mystery movie. The fans that came for a mystery movie this past Monday saw Jurassic World Rebirth, and let me tell you, people really enjoyed this one. It's a thriller where you never know what's coming around the corner next. I'll tell you that much.
Well, you call them mystery movies. Back in the 60s, they used to call them sneak previews, and they wouldn't tell you what film it was. they drop a hint by saying it's a major motion picture starring one of your favorite stars, which didn't really tell you much. And then you went to the theater, you saw the regular movie, and then you saw the sneak preview. And I remember once the sneak preview was Funny Girl with Barbara Streisand. Could you imagine going not knowing what you're going to see, and then all of a sudden, boom, Streisand's in Funny Girl? Because they don't want to tell you in advance. They want to get and then they have you fill out cards and stuff, what you think of the movie. How many Jurassic Parks have there been already?
Oh, I should know this, but I'd have to count. But there have been several, obviously. There was 1, 2, and 3 in the original series, and then there were a few more in the Jurassic World series, and now we're on to the next Jurassic World one. But they did a nice job with this one. I'll tell you, you're going to enjoy it. There's a lot of action and a lot of surprises. And Scarlett and Jonathan Bailey are well, Scarlett's not up and coming, but Jonathan Bailey, surely after he starred in Wicked last year, has been on the rise as well.
I'm counting 37 sequels, and I'm up to 37. It's funny because the original Jurassic Park, the dinosaurs are not on screen that long. You think there are a lot, but they don't stay on screen that long. But I think it was 15 minutes out of a 2-hour movie. The dinosaur, but Spielberg's got such a way, even with his shark and Jaws, it's not on camera a lot, very little. But,
well, and you think about what was done. That was over 30 years ago. And you think about how much technology has changed since then. It is amazing what Spielberg did that still holds up today in that first Jurassic Park movie. And then you look at this one, Jurassic World Rebirth, and you can see that the technology has come along quite a different ways because they're able to do a lot more, of course, with the technology now to showcase these animals.
All right, coming up in just a moment here, we're going to talk about some of the big racing movies you may have seen on the screen going way back to the 60s. Way back to the 60s. To me, it sounds like yesterday. We're going to talk about those. You've got the ones that made the most of the box office. I've got the ones the fans thought were some of the best racing movies, so we'll have those lists for you. I've got some interesting sequel movie news coming up as well. Bret Hoffmann from Marcus Theaters doing our movie segment, as we do every Friday morning, and we've got some movie news. Why don't you kick in with your stories first?
Okay. Well, there's a couple things, and that's that we've got 2 movies in theaters right now that have already been greenlit for sequels. And the first one is How to Train Your Dragon. Now, remember, there were 3 animated How to Train Your Dragon movies. They released a live-action How to Train Your Dragon movie early this June, and it's so successful that they've greenlit a live-action How to Train Your Dragon 2, and it's going to be released in 2027. So before the current one's out of the theaters, they've already greenlit the next one. And Lilo and Stitch has announced that it's been greenlit for a second movie. The movie is still in theaters, and it's made nearly $1 billion worldwide so far. Tremendous success here for Lilo and Stitch, a live-action Lilo and Stitch. And details of the release dates have not been released, but the project has been classified as in development. Well, you make $1 billion at the worldwide box office, you'll probably be back with a sequel. That's probably a good formula from the green lights and things.
I think they keep those things under wrap more than the government keeps our military secrets under wrap. I think they want anything leaking out. Whoa. It's made $1 billion?
Yes, nearly $1 billion.
Yeah.
It will cross that worldwide. It's been great success for Disney with that one. Originally, they were toying with that one not being in theaters as well, but obviously I think they made the right choice, not just sending that to Disney Plus and sending it to theaters.
Okay, our next... I was about to say, the next movie we're going to talk about, Social Network, received 8 Academy Award nominations, including one for Best Picture. Didn't win, but that's good enough for a sequel. Why don't we talk about that?
Yeah, The Social Network. Adam Sorkin is set to return. He is going to be the screenwriter and director behind a script for the next Social Network movie. This has been confirmed by The Hollywood Reporter. It has also been confirmed to be in development by Sony as well. Interestingly enough, as you mentioned, The Social Network starred Jesse Eisenberg and Andrew Garfield the first time around. Sorkin wrote it, but it was actually directed by David Fincher. We're going to see Sorkin both as a writer and behind the camera for the next one. What a tremendous movie it was. Now, that was all the way in 2010, so that was 15 years ago. But it should be really interesting, and we'll see what take he brings back on the state of social media after 15 years.
All right, they're putting together another Meet the Parents movie, the fourth one. So far, Ben Stiller, Robert De Niro, Owen Wilson on board. They're returning with the addition of Ariana Grande. Now, Barbara Streisand, who was in two of them, she was in Meet the Fockers and Little Fockers. She said she'd return, but she needs a lot more money. Now, I saw what she made for her movie, and I saw what the other stars made, and it was really far apart. And she said, I've got to get more money. She is Barbara Streisand, after all. Said she wasn't paid the same as her co-stars for other films, and she wasn't happy about it. They want her back. It's going to have to change. And the thing is, she doesn't care if she's in it. I mean, that's a great bargaining chip right there. I don't care if I make you a movie. Amanda Seyfried talks smack about Hollywood's addiction to sequels, but she is going to do Mamma Mia 3. She's also gearing up for Jennifer's Body 2. What is Jennifer's Body? I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
Well, this is all the way back 2009. It was a movie. It was a dark comedy / body horror movie. It starred Megan Fox in the lead and also starred Amanda Seyfried. So way back when, you had Adam Brody and Megan Fox and Amanda Seyfried in Jennifer's Body. It was a 2009 dark comedy / horror film. Interestingly enough, they may be bringing it back after 16 plus years.
Now, before we get to our racing movie list here, I saw Nora the other day. Finally got a chance to see it. Criterion put out a special 2-disc DVD on the thing. And this one, Best Picture of the Year. Now, I was talking to you the other day, and you said it really wasn't Best Picture-ish. And I agree. It was a good movie, but Best Picture of the Year? I was surprised at that.
I'll say this. I thought it was a spectacular picture from Neon. And also, I thought director and writer Sean Baker did a tremendous job. The only reason why I said Best Picture-esque is that in the past, Best Pictures used to be a little more epic and big and things like that. This one kind of came out of nowhere, but I will tell everyone, I enjoyed it. Neon did a great job. Neon's done a great job, actually, with different movies and winning awards, both at Cannes and on the Oscar stage. So people should check out Nora.
Yeah.
It was actually just a little bit surprising to me that here's this little dark comedy that came out of nowhere from a lot of people last year and won the Oscar.
And the acting was very good in the film, too. Very good. What's her name? Mikey Madison she won the Academy Award for Best Actress, did she not? I'm pretty sure she did. Mikey Madison. And I'm looking at her and I'm saying, she looks familiar. I can't place it, and then I placed it. She was the one in the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. They got torched in the swimming pool by Leonardo DiCaprio. She played Sadie, one of Manson's followers. And I said, that's her. And I looked it up on IMDb, and sure enough, she's the one who got that big torch that he got. He burned it to a crisp in the movie. I knew she looked familiar. I couldn't quite place it. She was very good in that film. That's her first starring role, Mikey Madison. And everybody was good in that film. So it was good. I recognize a lot of the spots where they filmed it because I used to walk those same spots in Brooklyn. So it was kind of fun to watch that. If you haven't seen Nora, now, if you're a little prudish, it gets kind of heavy R-rated, really R-rated at the beginning. So, but it's a good movie. And the curse words in there, I saw the count, it was 517 for the big mother curse word in there. 517 times somebody counted. So anyway, all right, so we got some racing movies. We have F1 opening up this weekend with Brad Pitt, but you've got a list of the highest grossing racing movies ever. Why don't you talk about some of the ones on the list? Yeah,
we'll talk about some of these. Interestingly enough, most racing films were not the most highest grossing. Were not based on professional car racing. When you look at this, you had just a ton of stuff going on, which the Fast and Furious movies, they called that street racing. There's a whole bunch of other things. It's funny that the top grossing racing movies, car racing movies of all time, the top is actually the animated series Cars from Disney, if you take a look at that. Then we get Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby, which was a comedy about professional racing starring Will Ferrell. And you have to go down to movies like in number 12 position, Ford versus Ferrari, which came out in November of 2019. That made a little over $100 million. And, of course, way back in 1990, it's that long since Days of Thunder came out with Tom Cruise. Of course, that was about NASCAR. Now you need to adjust that for inflation. It did well, but it did $82 million when it came out. And then last year you had a video game movie that about a video game prodigy that then jumped in the car. It's based on a true story in Gran Turismo, which made $44 million. But when you really look at it, these live action movies based on professional racing, there have been some. A lot of them have been dramas, but from a grossing standpoint, they haven't been high on the list. But, Don, I know that you have a few that are some of your favorite movies of all time,
Well,
right?
these, I don't know where these lists come from, but these are like the fan favorites of all time. All right, here they go. Number 11, Gran Turismo from 2023. That's preceded by Rush. I remember that movie with Chris Hemsworth. Speed Racer, Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby. Let's see, you mentioned Cars. That's on the list at number 7. Number 6 was Fast and Furious. Number 5, Days of Thunder. Cannonball Run. Number 4, Le Mans with Steve McQueen from 1971, because he was a racer himself. And he wanted to make this movie about his favorite sport, and he actually is the guy racing in the car. Disney's The Love Bug. Remember that movie from 1968? Several sequels to that as well. And the number one film was a film you said you never saw before. I remember when I was just a little tyke. I was more than that. It was 1966. My parents took me to the Cinerama Theater to go see Grand Prix with an all-star cast, James Garner, Eva Marie Saint, Yves Montand. There was a big cast in that film. And on the Cinerama screen, for people that don't know Cinerama, it was a big, giant, 150-degree curved screen that was just huge. They had, Southgate used to be, I think, the Cinerama Theater in Milwaukee. And it was just a big screen with big sound, 6-track stereo sound coming through, spectacular scenes of racing in there. And, maybe today's standards, it doesn't look as exciting, but I think it holds up. But you can't see it on a Cinerama screen anymore. Maybe an IMAX screen, but you can't see it in Cinerama anymore. But Grand Prix from 1966. How did you not see that movie?
I'll have to go back and check this one out. So also, I see it. I looked it up while we were talking. It's a 3-hour movie.
I know.
It's an epic movie. Yeah.
Had an overture at the beginning, had intermission, had the entr'acte movie, where they come back with more music, and then had the end music at the end of the film as well, where the screen turns black and they just play music. Yeah, it was a big road show. Grand Prix, Cinerama. All right. So quickly, we got Megan 2.0 opening up in F1, a big weekend at the movies. And next weekend, we've got the new Jurassic World movie opening up, right?
Yeah, new Jurassic World opens up next Wednesday. So before we talk again, and I believe you and I are coming back next Thursday, right?
We're going to Thursday morning, right?
We'll be back Thursday to tell you about how Jurassic World is doing and also just all the other things. It is a great summer for movies. Go check them out at your local theater. Go check them out at the Marcus Renaissance Cinema. There's a lot there for you to enjoy.